Well done. That's fine. Quick with 3 seconds to go. And they go. And they're not allowed to double this one, so it's a kind of a slow progression of falling out of the air there for the first lap. And it is 1 from 2 from 4. The big loser there at the start was Mike Plegerpool, who's dropped right down to the back of the field there by getting kind of slightly fenced. So it's Kraus leading from Valakers. And then coming up fast, it's the 4 of Peter Hartmann, who was, of course, the pole position consider, and looking to get the inside of Valakers there. So the 3 of them power up and over the double-double for the first time. Up and over the bridge. I've been bitten by something, it's really itchy. So lap 1 is in the books. I hate saying in the books, I say it myself then. Martin Klaus from Valakers, from Hartmann, from Elia Busson, and Hartmann's got to be a sort of an early favourite for no other reason than he was the fastest in qualifying. So Rabusson, they've got 3 Alcons, and Rabusson, who I think has got the FG, the Leopard, the Leopard, might be holding, I'll check that in a minute. Yeah, Rabusson is with the FG, and they're all trundling around. The 4 of them are together. Plegerpool, the big loser, has managed to get himself back up to 6th, I think. Or is it 7th? And we've lost Jaroslav Prokes already, so there's only 9 cars rotating. And we lost, is that Prokes been brought in the broken rear end there? They've got a broken rear wheel in front of us, so that must be Prokes already coming in, having had a bit of damage on the rear end. So the leader still, as he has done from the start of the race, and we're kind of 2 minutes in. It's Martin Kraus, but there's a huge challenge now from both Hartmann and Valakers, and also Rabusson, as 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all together. Valakers, who is the absolute modicum of restraint and tactical nous, will probably thinking about now, how can I win the race? And is he working with Hartmann, the 2 Elcon drivers? It's like what Rabusson, the FG, to get anywhere near them. And there's the 4 cars have now slightly split into 2 halves, so 1 and 2. One lap in the book, 2.5 minutes done. And Wallaker's got a horrible little tank slapper there. He just lost the kind of rear end slide went. He lost some time and suddenly thrown right back, and Hartmann picks up 2nd place. What does he? They're side by side, the 2 teammates, and Hartmann does move in. So it's Czechoslovakia 1, Czech Republic 1, Czech Republic 2. And then Rabusson goes in, and so Wallaker's had a terrible lap and a half there. And he's dropped right out, and he's dropped out to 6th. So Valakers has had a lap from hell there and drops down to 6th. But that does mean that Kraus has a lead, but it's now Hartmann and Rabusson chasing hard. But, as we know, these are half-hour finals. It could be a long time before it happened, but it's not a good one for Valakers. He did a 51-second lap, lost 10 seconds on that lap. And we're with Hartmann in 2nd, who's now trying to bring... Oh, and Hartmann's gone, but he's lucky there. And he came back on. He did a kind of a pirouette on his rear right tyre, and it did enough really to lose some time and block Rabusson getting past. So the net effect was that Martin Kraus got a free couple of seconds there and pulls away more. So this is the car, his 3rd place. Rabusson is the yellow car. Behind him, the purple machine of Pekka Hypala in 4th. And ahead of them, Peter Hartmann in 2nd. And away is the yellow and blue machine of Martin Kraus. So Kraus, it's all looking quite good at the moment. More from other people's errors than his particular strength, so he's obviously doing a reasonably fast time to be out there leading and not being caught up. So Hartmann and Rabusson, said this before, if they had any sense, they just trail each other for a couple of laps just to kind of drag up to the main leader, because they're not trying any other thing than to win the European Championship. Look like if your best time in qualifying, you're trying to win the European Championship. And to do that, you need to think sometimes tactically. Is it the fastest path for me is actually to let the other guy drag me up to the leader? And that lead, which is extending by another 1.5 seconds there, is now up to 5 seconds. So Martin Kraus has a 5-second lead over the 2 cars we're watching here, which is Peter Hartmann in the orange, in the blue, white and orange Elcon, and the Frenchman Elie Ribasson in the green, purple, a little bit of orange FG. And catching them up now after a terrible start is Mike Plegerpool, who was dead last, and he's now got through and is now running somewhere a little bit behind them in 4th place. Valakers also trying to get past as well. So There is some movement, but it takes a long time to make it 10 seconds back. And the issue really is that Martin Kraus, now he's got free air, is very, very quick indeed. Gaining a tenth of a second on Hartmann then. As they fly over, and Hartmann now looking, I think, really trying to gap Rabuson to give himself a chance to settle down and concentrate on taking back the time from his fellow countryman Martin Kraus. Rabuson there in the 5 car. Bounces off the side. Hartmann just disappearing underneath the timing bar there. And Valakis makes another mistake. So probably now Valakis already is out of the whole thing and a chance of doing anything. And as these two go, Kraus made a mistake. No, he's way ahead. Sorry, this is Rabuson, and Rabuson gets in second place. That was a good 2-corner move by Rabuson. He gets past Hartmann into second place. Will he be able to hold back Hartmann? Oh no, he's not. He's upside down, and the marshal was looking the wrong way. So Hartmann now into second, with Martin Kraus just slowly eking away a lead. In that time round, he gained another 9/10 of a second. So Martin Kraus, certainly unfancy when we came here, and not featuring particularly in the pole position fight. That was Hartmann's all the way. Is now proving us to be a little bit wrong and a bit erroneous, because he's pulled away with no problems whatsoever. So it's kind of 6.5 minutes down, 7 to go. Now, the big mover, I would say at the moment, is Mike Plekerpool. Mike Plekerpool had an absolutely nightmare start. Can we pick up car 3, Ash? It's just 1 car behind where we are. Because Plekerpool on camera now, and he's about to catch up Hartmann, because Hartmann's just hit him. So Plekerpool had a terrible start. He got caught on the pipe at the sweeper after the double, even though they take it as 2 singles, and was absolutely dead last. Now he's up to 3rd, right behind Hartmann. Both of them are the Elcon drivers, the Dutch driver and the Czech driver. Now 10 seconds is the lead for Martin Kraus, who's just doing it by just driving round. He's not done anything spectacular. Everyone else has made mistakes. They've had little problems. Hartmann himself has made a couple of mistakes. The car's rolled and he's not been able to hold with it. So I think that Plekerpool, with 22.5 minutes to go, is the only person who has any chance of catching Kraus if he can get past Hartmann. Because Plekerpool's come through the field from dead last to 3rd. Looking at the inside there on the F for corner. Didn't quite get. He's got the driver. Oh, squeeze to go past the cornfield straight. And now into the RC Models double before sweeping downhill on the bank turn onto the tabletop. And Hartmann was quick down that bit and gapped a little bit more as we come on the paved section and the hairpin. And interestingly there, you saw that if you looked at the wheels, Plekerpool, he locked the rear wheels first. So he's got a little bit rear bias because he locked the rears without locking the front. Obviously these are not directly connected, so you can do that. There's no direct drive chain in there. The fronts are freewheeling. So you're running a little bit of rearward brake bias there. This Plekerpool. Or perhaps the unloading that would happen as the weight transfers under braking, just to unload the rear was enough to stop. So Plekerpool, this is the battle of a second. Just to remind you that a long way ahead, and having no, Plekerpool makes a mistake, and having no problems whatsoever, is Martin Kraus. His lead now extended to 11 seconds. Hartmann second, Plekerpool on camera 3rd, Pekka Haikala 4th, Eli Rabuson, who was running high as 2nd at one point, down to 5th. Valakis is running 2nd, is in 6th. Kevin Medov is in 7th. And then we have Oliver Blanchard and Maël Boucher, and then not really taking the start but not completing a lap was Jaroslav Proksch, who had a rear suspension failure. Something's fallen off a car. It's just been kicked out of the way. I think it was a Zero car that lost part of its bodywork. Let's find our leader, Ash. Car 1, going through the King Cobra hairpin now. Yellow-white with a blue roof. That is Martin Kraus. He is consistently lapping way faster than anyone else. His last lap was 1.5 seconds faster than Hartmann, and a stonking 3.5 seconds faster than Plekerpool. And he's obviously finding these hot conditions, this dry and dusty track, which has now taken out all the moisture we got from the rain on Thursday night, and is now the driest it's been, because it was rain earlier this week as well. It's so dry, we're not getting much dust being picked up. So if you watched our coverage yesterday afternoon will know there's nothing but dust in these races because the top surface got wet and then got broken up again. It had to be wiped away, and you can see the blue groove on most of the corners has formed. And Kraus, the Czech driver, 41s, 41, 41. We're seeing 43s from Hartmann. We're just not seeing the pace from anyone else. Plekapol and Hartmann are together again. So let's go and look at the battle of second and third. It's going round the King Cobra hairpin. And interesting, Pekka Haikala in the 6 car is not far behind them because these two cars basically are just making mistakes. And it's leading to the situation where Martin Kraus, by keeping it on the island, to paraphrase English football, is leaping away at a second or two a lap and is now leading by 16 seconds from both these guys. And can Plekapol get Hartmann this time? Or will it be a Czech 1-2 in this European Championship for two-wheel drive? However, we're not halfway yet. And if you remember the last final that happened, 45 minutes ago, I wouldn't look away because we lost 3 of the cars that were leading, broke down in the lead. I must admit, we've been doing this now for, this is our 9th season for EFRA. 2010 we started, 9th season EFRA, and I don't ever remember 3 cars breaking down from the lead before. I'm sure we had 2 cars break down from the lead within 10 seconds back in the 1/8 in Alicante a couple of years ago when Ronefalk broke down from the lead, and then 20 seconds later Robert Bataille broke down from the lead with the same failure.
Servos.
So, but we didn't get the third one because Boots then took it away and won it 2 years ago. So, but 3 cars breaking down from the lead is a first. So Kraus is it's like a censoring machine, isn't it? You've had your words, and shut up. I'm going to drum you into it. So Kraus leading now by 50. Oh, he actually lost half a second that time. Wasn't even trying. Half a second. So he's now Plekapol's not really putting in much of a performance again. Interesting. If you look behind him to the purple car, just 1 car back from Plekapol. That is Pekka Haikala, who is now the track is settling down, is looking to try and move forward. Then you've got Rabusa. Now Valaka's on a comeback drive. Oddly, without Martin Kraus here, Valaka's could still be in a chance of winning this because he's still got a chance of getting second. Because if I tell you now, that you go second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. They go past my eye line there.
Don't write him off.
I wouldn't write your best mate off. I'm not writing your Bezzy off. Don't worry. I know how much you love a bit of Ken. And we're with the 4th place car of Pekka Haikala. Martin Kraus fans, don't worry, he's out in the lead having a lovely time. That lead is still 15 seconds, so he's pretty good. He said to be winding it back now. Just taking 0 risk. So Rabuson and Valakas are right behind Haikala, and just ahead of Haikala is Plekapol and Hartmann. You can see them both going up. There's Plekapol just going over the hill, and behind in the gap you saw there's Haikala. They're all equidistant. Drop back one more to Rabuson, the Frenchman in the multiple car. There's Valakas on his way back. This is especially for Matt. A bit of Valakas action. I'm building a story. Something smells like it's burning. Hopefully it's nothing to do with our equipment. Valakas now running in 6th, but you can see 5th, 4th and 3rd quite easily. But can he get past any of them? Rabuson went wrong here about 4 or 5 laps ago. He lost 10 seconds in a lap, and he loses another couple of tenths there. They've all gone very equidistant now. Every single one of them turned a 41-second lap there, apart from our leader Martin Kraus, who's a 40. So Kraus's lead now moves out to 16 seconds. And we are coming up to halfway. One of the things about these large-scale races, they are never over. There's still the possibility of running out of fuel. Less likely on the 2-wheel drives, but you can get it wrong, you can do it. And Ken makes a place up, as does Rabuson, because there's an error by Pekka Haikala. So Rabuson in the front of the shot moves up to 4th place. Valakas to 5th. Plekapol's really managed to gap them quite effectively, actually. So Hartmann and Plekapol have managed to do a bit of gapping there. Rabuson and Valakas, the battle for 4th. It's the closest on the track at the moment. The lead is 16.4 seconds for Martin Kraus. And I can tell you now, I can see him at the corner of my eye, still running along. Just going over the double. But now over the internal double-double, it's Valakas looking to try and catch up Rabuson. But Rabuson is pushing. And in fact, he's now, Valakas has got more of an issue with holding off Pekka Haikala, which he might actually fail to do here. He kind of swept across back on the line there before the EFRA. We are just over halfway. The race has yet to explode into life. Though Plekapol now, oh, look at that. Beautiful stuff there by Haikala, who went up the inside, then landed on Ken's nose, got drive, and then unfortunately got too much drive and put himself in the boondocks. 14 minutes left. So battle's back withdrawn for 2nd and 3rd. Underneath you now, Ash, it's 4 and a 3. As Plekapol has managed to get himself back up to Hartmann. Kraus's lead moves to 18 seconds nearly. There's actually a chance he could lap the field. You need to have a bit of luck about it. But can Plekapol, after his terrible start, get himself back up to 2nd? He's certainly up the inside of Hartmann now. They're both teammates. It's unlikely he's going to try a block pass because these things are quite heavy and can cause some damage. Rabuson's made a mistake off camera, and Valakas now runs in 4th. And up the inside go, oh, beautiful, oh, nearly there. Got a fantastic run up the inside of the EFRA hairpin. And now he's looking to power up. He's back to give him some space over the double here. Can Plekapol steal 2nd place? That's a little bit tight, and that's what he did in the first lap, but got stuck on the pipe last time, on that first lap, and that's why he ended up last. This time he just lost a couple of seconds. He tried to get up the inside, so he's got a good front end on that car. He can turn tight with it, but he's just dropped off Hartmann again. Hartmann looking very much to make it a 1-2 for the Czech Republic. Let's look at that one again. So he got the drive. Plekapol now gets a marvellous bit of front end. Look, turning perfectly there. Gets just about level. Just because of that wider long, Hartmann had just a bit more momentum when he put the power back down again and steals the inside. Kind of a speedway flick in at the end of the straight before they go down the field of corn straight. Now, looks like Rabuson, Rabuson 0. Oliver Blanchard has a similar paint job, sorry. So it is now Plekapol and Hartmann fighting for 2nd place. 18.4 the lead for Martin Kraus. And Plekapol gives him a little kiss to Hartmann. Hartmann says, oh, thank you very much. Hartmann now. So the EFRA corner says you've done another lap. It's not getting much good. Oh, they actually gained a 2nd that time round. So obviously a bit of a longer. Martin Kraus must have some traffic issues. He dropped a 2nd, but he's still 17 ahead. As they fly in 2nd and 3rd. Valakas very comfortably in 4th now. He seems to have managed to get him a breakaway. So the 3 Elcons in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Hartmann holding 2nd. And Plekapol, not really. He put in a good battle. He lost a couple of seconds. He's finding it hard now to drag back up to Hartmann. 11 minutes to go. And Kraus's lead is 18 seconds again. So how far is 18 seconds, you ask? Well, give you an idea that as these boys now are about to go on the tabletop, Martin Kraus is just going up and over the bridge. So Plekapol struggling now to gain on Hartmann. They are the closest two on the track. He's battle 2nd and 3rd. And Plekapol getting a little bit ponderous. I wonder whether he's actually lost a bit of front grip somewhere. Now Hartmann now is just getting way away from Plekapol. So there's a battle now between Plekapol and Valakas as Valakas look to get in the top 3 again. So Plekapol's lost a bit of momentum. Valakas now is catching him up. Hartmann's away, so can Valakas pick up 3rd? Something's eating my leg. Don't know what it is. It's not you, is it, Matt? It's not Matt, which is the key point. Valakas flies the double. There's his target, Plekapol, but almost as soon as he sees Ken behind him, Mike starts going faster. Like Mike's some sort of incentive for him to go a bit quicker. So second is Hartmann. This is a battle for 3rd. Plekapol and Valakas. They just put a lap on the sort of bluey, green and white of Kevin van Meerdorft, who's managed to bump up a couple of races into the finals. He'll be happy just to be here as such. Lead at the front is 20 seconds. We are waiting for this one to explode into life. There's a lot of tactics going on, a lot of interesting driving, but the leader in Martin Kraus has put in an absolute masterclass, just not making any mistakes, just trotting around. I've not seen him either on camera or off camera have any problems whatsoever. And his lead has been eked out virtually every lap. He actually has got, not only is he not making mistakes, he's got more ground speed than everyone else. So Valakas now got the inside of Plekapol, and then you saw him turn in, realised it wasn't going to be a space, and turn back out again to avoid hitting his Elcon teammate. But now Valakas is thinking, I really would quite like to get past you, and he's going to get him there. Oh no, Plekapol comes across the front of him, and Valakas loses all momentum there. Gets a better run by doubling the second half of the infield doubles. And they're right behind each other, battle for 3rd place with 7.5 minutes to go. Kraus' lead is 20 seconds. Hartmann is about 3 seconds ahead of these two as they stretch slightly as they go over the double. And Valakas now a little bit quicker in that section. Will drive in, see if there's a chance going around the hairpin. There isn't. See if he can get a better drive and get up the inside. Then look at what he can do at the King Cobra hairpin in a second. And the answer that's not very much, because Plekapol's on the racing line, trying to turn tighter. There is a chance here to get up the inside, but Plekapol kind of lurched across. I'm not sure whether not in any way illegally or anything other than what you're allowed to do. He's allowed to defend his position as robustly as he likes, as long as it's within the rules. He kind of leant and turned, and that was the result. They fly through the air, and that could be the chance of Valakas, but no, rather than taking advantage of Plekapol's mistake then, he caught the back of it. And just means that Hartmann gets a bit further away in second, and obviously every single lap we have, Martin Kraus gets further away in the lead. In fairness, the last lap he actually didn't gain any time at all, he's just 19 ahead now. Underneath me, Valakas looking to extend his lead. So extend his run of podiums. Is the reigning two-wheel drive champion, Ken. It looks like it's going to take a bit of a miracle for him to retain his championship. First of all, he's going to need to get past Plekapol, then Hartmann, and then hope something happens to Martin Kraus. Last lap round, again Martin Kraus, just about half a second quicker than Peter Hartmann, who are both again faster than Valakas and Plekapol are back together again. So what will Mike do? This is very much now, as Valakas makes another little mistake, very much now a battle for the bottom of the podium, because they are losing time to Hartmann the whole time. Last 5 minutes to go, and A very static environment at the moment. No one's getting past anyone. The only cars that are close together are the cars we're following. And even they are separating slightly. We will have a couple of laps with Martin towards the back end of the race to see how these positions are going to sort themselves out. You get a chance to marvel at the Czech driver who's managed to get himself led from the off, from pole, never been headed. A couple of laps where they're quite close, just eased out now. At this point, I've got a nice 21.5 second lead. Things are looking good. I am feeling good. I believe I may well be able to become the European champion. Let's see what is happening now. So Valakers has been dropped by. Let's go and look at our leader, Martin Kraus, car 1. He's on the just about to go under the bridge, Ash. Yellow and blue, or yellow and white and blue. So Kraus has got 4 minutes to take this one home. He's only got a 20-second lead. And he's put in a rather good performance. So he down at the field of corn straight, pushing up the hill and then up right over the RC Models double, lands it, goes around the berm. Accelerating into the cobble, the paved section around the hairpin underneath the bridge through the inner loop. And he gets to the King Cobra hairpin. And then he goes to the far left side to make it a bit less craterous. But once again, in fairness, this track has held together brilliantly, especially when you compare it to France 2 years ago. The Kraus car appears to me to be running quite stiff and running quite a lot of ride height, but it seems to be working for him. It's really a solid platform he's built for that car as far as the setup's concerned. I'm not sure it's the colours and that's making it look like it's got more ride height than the other Elcons, but it may well be an optical illusion. But you also see that it's a very solid platform. It's not rolling an awful lot, it's not lurching. Obviously this is working well, the relatively low grip of the dust and dirt and compacted mud here, the clay. Kraus, Hartmann, Mike Plekapol, Rabuson. There's 2 minutes to go. Martin Kraus will be driving this one in. Is anybody close to anyone? No. Plekapol's miles ahead of Valakers now. Hartmann is miles ahead of Plekapol. Valakers is miles ahead of, well, he's a little bit ahead of Rabuson. So sometimes you need to have an antidote to a super exciting race, and you just need to have a masterclass. And that's what we've seen from Martin Kraus, a masterclass. He can do 3 more laps. Whether he'll choose to do 3 more laps is a question. He might actually want to ease it back and just do 2. Otherwise, but he could have a very lovely lap of honour to himself. No idea if Martin Kraus speaks English, I'll tell you that now. So last minute, Kraus is going to get, I think, 2 more laps, unless he's going to kind of park the thing up on the last lap. And there he goes. So he crosses the line with 50 seconds to go. They're kind of building up the fact he might run out of fuel, but I don't think he's been pushing very hard, so I don't think there's any danger of him running out of fuel, because basically you run out of fuel when you're throttle jamming and hoping for the best. Here he's been driving a controlled race since effectively about lap 4. He made the break from the Hartmann, Plekapol, everyone else. Valakers now is dead in front of him. And I wonder if he knows how long to go. 15 seconds to go. Is he going to slow it down and not make the extra lap? No, looks like he's going to come 10 seconds to go. 6. Is he going to wait? Nope, it's got an extra lap. So this is a victory lap. He's won this, by the way, because he can't get beaten. due to the fact that no one else can get onto this lap, and he was the fastest person on the previous lap. So this is your European champion. But he's run out of fuel on his slowdown lap. Oh. He's run out of fuel in his slowdown lap. Oh no, he hasn't. He's just stopped. But it doesn't matter, because he's won.
Yes.
So he's not going to cross the finish line, which is a bit weird, because he's got no fuel. But he's still going to win, because he did 43 laps first. So that's a bit different, isn't it?
Something eye-opening about the race. Eye-opening.
He should have waited. I think he should have waited by the start finish.
He's you can see he's quite emotional.
He's won.
He's been holding it together for 30 minutes, and I think he can't quite contain the joy.
European champion. Well, I'd be joyful if I was European champion.
You would.
I'm not European champion, obviously.
You're not.
No. He's won. I'm standing by someone else's car. He looks quite happy. So he can't believe it. You can hear the engine noise as I've the Valakers machine next to me. Quite nicely, Tim van der Elst is doing the mechanicking for him. It's good to see the Elcon twins still together.
Where's Nick? Can we see him? There he is.
Martin Kraus.
He's in the thick of it down there.
Still up there. I'm not sure we've been handed the trophy yet. It's coming over. Yeah, here comes the trophy with Walter. Walter's won the trophy.
He deserves to.
So Martin Kraus wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Kraus from the Czech Republic, European champion 2018.
So do you think he speaks English?
Yeah, of course he does.
I think his girlfriend, she's scrappy as well.
15-minute break, so we're starting the big main final for the four.
So Nick's going to go around and grab him from the back of the building.
Grab him from the back, yes. He definitely is his girlfriend, so he's probably going to want to get a cuddle with her first. Can't think why.
I don't see why.
No, he's got his dad or someone. His dad's got a punter gamer.
Well-deserved punter gamer. Thank you to Samba, to King Cobra Racing, RC Models, and the Wendell Arena. This is the EFRA large-scale off-road European Championships. We are going to be talking to our newly crowned two-wheel drive
possibly
champion. Do you have him yet, Nick?
Oh, I've got Ono, because he's won the European champion as well for Ono Abbas. Martin, do you speak English? Let's go. Go on. You've won the European champions. Your chance to celebrate it with us. Martin, congratulations. You are European champion. How do you feel?
I'm very happy. It's brilliant. I don't know what I say.
You made it look very easy. It seemed very easy. Was it easy?
Yes.
Martin, congratulations, well done. Very emotional scenes. Just a quick word with them. I'm emotional. No, you can't say I'm sorry, because it's Ono Abbas, the man who is Elcon. After yesterday's disappointment, you've now managed to get another European championship. Why? Very well. No, you built the car.
Yes, I did, but okay, it's his. He deserved it, and he worked so hard for it the whole week. So I'm a little bit emotional now. Yeah.
Lots of Elcons in the final. You must have liked that part.
There was a lot, yeah. We had 7 cars, so that was brilliant. It was excellent. We could not wish for more. And yeah, this ending is like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like Croatia. Yeah.
We were speaking to Kai Coops on the chat a while ago. He's promised to come back soon.
Okay. So hi Kai. Thank you for cheering on.
Cheers, man. Congratulations to Elcon and congratulations to Martin Kraus. And we now have a few minutes for me to go and turn off some cameras and Matt to chat to you before we have the four-wheel drive final.
Great to hear from Ono Abbas there. The man behind Elcon, the man behind so many of the buggies in that final. Fantastic. Fairly, not particularly eventful, but still great to crown in.